Well, hello, and welcome to the best football show. I'm Brian Baldinger, coming to you live here today, taking your questions right from my third floor office at NFL Films. Been in the film room most of the day, just still looking at some Week 13 games and starting to look ahead to tomorrow night, Green Bay and Detroit, and some of the games this weekend. You can find me on all the social media platforms at Baldy NFL. I post stuff every day, all day, so go look at that. And then you can find wherever you get your podcasts, you can go download your free Odyssey app right here, and you can watch this on a daily basis. So we try to go live once a week. We're live here today. If you feel free to post your questions on any team. I feel like I've studied every single team equally over the last 13 weeks. I feel like I got a good working knowledge on what's going on, the issues and the good things and the bad. Let me get to this suspension to Azeez Al-Shaair. I know Azeez, and I don't think for one second that he's a dirty player. I don't think for 1 second on the hit in the second quarter to Trevor Lawrence that he was trying to injure Trevor Lawrence. I don't believe that. He's waited his turn to get a chance. He was a backup there in San Francisco for a few years. Fred Warner loved him. In fact, I asked Fred one time, do you call run blitzes for him, or is he just that fast in reading the play? He goes, Baldy, we wondered about the same thing in a film room, how quickly he sees things. He's a very aggressive player. He was excellent last year in Tennessee. Excellent. And so, Tennessee plays Houston twice a year, and, DeMeco Ryan saw him. DeMeco Ryan's a linebacker. By trade, he was a linebacker. And he was watching Azeez in Tennessee, like, D their team up. And when free agency came, he couldn't wait to sign him. Now, he missed a couple games with injuries this year, but he's a good player. Now, let's just look at the play. Because I'm not sure exactly what the play is. All we see is a bootleg with Trevor Lawrence. But what I see is all five offensive linemen on the other side of the numbers with Travis Etienne, which made me think and made me believe that the play was designed to bootleg, draw all the attention to Trevor, and then throw back across the field to Travis Etienne where he's got a convoy all set up. We've all seen that play. That's what I think the play is, because that's what it looks like. Except that on 2nd and 7, when Trevor Lawrence gets outside, he sees nobody there. Like, it's just open. So he just takes off. And he actually tucks it. He does not looking to throw. He tucks the ball and he's running. Now it's 2nd and 7. Tom Brady came out and said, a quarterback's got to slide earlier. Well, if you factor what Tom Brady said, and he's not wrong, if he slides earlier, he's probably not going to get hit the way he got hit. But he slid later because he was trying to get the first down. He slid at the 6-yard mark, and it was 2nd and 7. I think he knew exactly how far he needed to get for the first down. So the ball's down as soon as you start your slide. So he didn't get the first down. And Al-Shaair is he's there, and he's just reacting to the play. Now, could he have hit him less than he did? Yeah, he could. He could have. I don't know what a linebacker thinks about and what he sees, but I don't think he's looking to, slam his head into the turf and injure him. I don't believe that. Now, he's got to live with the suspension. They can have a conference, and they can talk it out, and maybe it gets reduced from 3 to 2 or 3 to 1. That's possible. We've seen things like that, but we're trying to look, I'm all for player safety and keeping quarterbacks healthy. We've seen games this year when the backup quarterbacks, the third-team quarterbacks are playing, and it's awful football. We don't have 32 great starting quarterbacks in this league. And when you get that, the games aren't very much fun, and they're not very entertaining, and they're hard to follow and watch sometimes. So I want to protect the quarterbacks, but at the same time, the quarterbacks have to protect themselves too. Now, they got the slide rule in, but maybe the quarterbacks shouldn't try to get every inch they can and then slide. I'm not here to say the call and what the NFL did with suspending. I'm not saying they're right or they're wrong. I'm just saying, I'm not sure what the play was. It looks like it's little. And then B, Trevor's running for the first down. Aziz's job is to keep him from getting a first down. It's the second quarter. It's early in the game. Nobody's run away with it. It's anybody's ball game here. So anyways, that's that. Let's get to Let's go to Washington, okay, where the Commanders ended a 3-game losing streak, and they jumped on top of Tennessee 28-0. In the second quarter, it was 28-0. And honestly, it didn't look like the ball even hit the ground from Jaden Tenney, receiver. I mean, it looked like it was just the easiest game of pitch and catch. And the first run of the day, Brian Robinson ran a counter tray off right tackle for 40 yards, wasn't touched. And I'm a big fan of what Brian Callahan has done in Tennessee. I bragged about a lot of their players, Tavondre Sweat, Jeffrey Simmons, J.C. Latham, Skoronski, Pollard. I bragged about a bunch of their players, Calvin Ridley having a great season. This team, and I called them out for it. And I'm not here to be negative about teams and efforts and question efforts, but they didn't come to play. There's no way you could tell me that team came to play. The way that they didn't get off blocks, the way that Washington went up and down the field to start that game. It got better after halftime. But that first half, that was as bad a first half that I can remember a team playing this year. And Tennessee has been a highly competitive team. They've been in a lot of games that they've lost. We know Will Levis's problems with turnovers, but that was not a good effort. And credit Washington. They were ready. They wanted to snap a 3-game losing streak. They lost on, to Dallas the week before. And, it was ugly kickoff returns for touchdowns and all that stuff. Anyways, congratulations. Washington gets back. They're going to say that you're going to see the Eagles in Washington in 2 weeks. It's going to be a little bit of fun watching that game. I'm watching the Colts and Anthony Richardson on the game-winning drive. It's 24-17. They're losing. He had just thrown an interception on the series before. He threw an interception. Looked like the game was going to be over. They get the ball back with, 3.5 minutes to go. And they convert 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 fourth downs to stay alive and keep the drive alive. And each of the fourth down plays was a clutch play by Anthony Richardson. The first one was a 4th and 3. And, here comes the defender, New England's defender, right at Anthony Richardson. Jabril Peppers comes free hitter right at him. And he just runs around him like he's not even there. And he locates Mo Alley Cox, and he gets a 11-yard completion, first down. Then they get to 4th and 2. All right, they're driving. It's 4th and 2, like under 2 minutes to go. And it's a quarterback crack, right? They pull the left tackle, Ryman. They pull the wide receiver from a tight split, and he gets a little convoy out there. And on 4th and 2, he runs for 6 yards and a first down. Now they're down to their final play. They're 4th and 3 at the 3. There's 17 seconds to go in the game. And he drops back, and he hits Alec Pierce on a cross. And the throw was perfect. It's a perfect throw. Now, it was good protection, good play action, all that. Made a perfect throw. So now it's 24-23. And Shane Steichen says, we're going for the win. And they're on the road. They're in Foxborough. So he dials up a quarterback power, all right, where Big Q, Quentin Nelson, pulls and leads around, gets a great block in the hole, and Anthony Richardson just trucks the Patriots and scores on a 2-point conversion to win 25-24. Massive celebration in the end zone. Hats off to Anthony Richardson. I've been critical of him. I've been critical of his play. I was critical when he tapped out this year. But the Colts just got their 6th win. They're in the playoff hunt. They're on the outside looking in. But they won a game on the road where it was very much in doubt. And give credit to him. Let's look at a matchup I saw between the Saints and the Rams. Jared Verse, the 19th pick in the draft, against Taliesin Fuaga. It was just an unbelievable matchup. Both players are great players. Both players very, very deserving of first-round picks. Both playing at a very high level. Jared Verse is an awesome player. When he wasn't going against Fuaga, he was just dominant. Let's move on to Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings are headed to Minnesota this weekend. And it's Kirk Cousins' homecoming in Minnesota, where he played a number of years. But he was awful against the Chargers. He threw an interception in the end zone. Marcus May, who just got signed off the bus stop on Wednesday, intercepted him in the end zone. I have no idea where the ball was going. No idea who he was throwing to. You can't tell. The ball was so inaccurate. The last throw of the game, I mean, Derwin James just sitting there in the hole. Like the ball's going to Drake London. The ball doesn't really go to anybody else in that offense. And he's just sitting there in a hole. And he doesn't throw it high or he just throws a bad pass. That ended the game. You know, they're driving. I mean, they have a chance there to score, you know, and make it a game. He throws a terrible interception. He throws a pick six to Tarheeb Still, the rookie, on a 3rd and 5 out of a bunch formation. And he's late with the throw to Darnell Mooney, and Tarheeb Still takes it the distance. He picked off another ball in zone coverage. Like it was, you know, so you look at Atlanta right now, they're 6-6. They were 6-3 and running away with the division. And over these last 3 losses, he's thrown 0 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And the interceptions on Sunday against the Chargers at home got him beat. So if you're Raheem Morris right now, I mean, do you just, and you're Arthur Blank, do you just say, oh, well, you know, this is Kirk's homecoming. We're riding with him. Because Michael Penix Jr. is just sitting there, and he's just a bundle of talent. Elite athlete, elite arm strength, and smart. And what I'm hearing in practice when he's running scout team is he carves the defense up. I know it's not game day. It's not Brian Flores' defense. But I'm just saying, like, the Bucs are 6-6, and the Falcons are 6-6 with 5 games to go. Obviously, the Bucs are riding Baker Mayfield, and they should. But if the Falcons are going to win the division, and that's what signing Kirk Cousins was all about, to win the division and go to the playoffs, is he giving you the best chance? Would you soil the homecoming of Kirk Cousins to start a rookie? Because all the rookies are playing – I think all the rookies are playing well. I mean, Jaden Daniels is having a great season. Bo Nix, we just saw him on Monday night, looked awesome. You know, Drake May is playing winning football for the most part. He looks good. You know, Caleb had a great Thanksgiving Day second half. He's had great moments this year. Like, does anybody think that Michael Penix Jr. isn't going to be a good player or a great player? And would you do that move if you're Atlanta? Because I feel like that's a part of the scenario here. And I'm going to Minnesota to do the game. And I'm going to talk to both quarterbacks, Cousins and Penix, before the game. I'm just going to feel it out. All right. And then the Rams won a tight ball game in New Orleans. And teams struggle in the red zone. They just do. But the Rams, 3 touchdowns. They won the game 21-14. And all 3 touchdowns were red zone touchdowns. You know, the first one was Kyron Williams, a 4-yard run. And Kyron ran for his 11th touchdown run of the season. Like he was dynamite. Then they called a play, twin set to the right, and they called a play for Demarcus Robinson. And he got leverage on it was man coverage, got leverage, and Stafford, you know, winged it out there to him for the second touchdown. And then the third touchdown was from the 7. And again, they had a twin set out wide to the right, and they brought Puka Nacua in motion, making it look like it's a 3-receiver set, which it was. And Stafford just threw it a little hitch to him, and he picked up blocks from the 2 receivers, Cooper Kupp, and I believe it was a tight end. They got their blocks, and Nacua found the end zone. And so teams struggle to find ways to score in the red zone. I got to give Sean McVay credit. Those were 3 very good and creative ways and good execution to find the ball into the end zone. Like I said from the very beginning here today, that we're live. We're live here. We're open to any of your questions. I've got just about all of Week 13 digested, watched just about every game. I saw a play that I really liked in that Thanksgiving Day game, Detroit and Chicago. And it was Amon-Ra St. Brown and Tim Patrick look like they're running crossing routes in the middle of the field. If this is Amon-Ra, he's coming like he's running this crosser with Patrick, and he takes the defender, which is Tyreek Stevenson, to deep water, and then he bends it back out. And he gets unbelievable separation from Stevenson, probably like 5 or 6 yards. And I'm saying to myself, that play takes a long time. There's a lot of quarterbacks that would be under siege. Let's look at the protection. So the protection is they've got Sam Laporte at tight end. He's sealing the edge, removed, like 2 yards removed from the right tackle. All right. So they have a roll right protection, and everybody's rolling to the right. And Laporte is kind of sealing it. And then Jared Goff just kind of settles in at a dead spot and has a clean passing lane to throw the ball to Amon-Ra for 29 yards. It was a classic case of Ben Johnson marrying the route combination, which takes a long time, with the protection, giving the quarterback enough time. It's pretty creative. So just wanted to say that right there. Let's see. I don't see any questions here. So with that, maybe we'll just leave it at that, and we'll come back on Friday, and we'll break down what promises to be a great Thursday night game where the Packers and the Lions get together in Detroit. The Packers trying to close that lead that Detroit has right now with that shiny 11-1 record, and maybe tightening up the whole NFC North with an upset win at Ford Field. I'll be back Friday to talk about it. Thanks for joining me right here on the Best Football Show.